morning. Happy Wednesday, yo. I gotta tell you, man, there are 7 days in the week. Hump Day is not one of them. Guess what's another one that's not one of them? Sunday is not a day in the week. It's today, man. We gotta take action. What's up, NJ? Candy Murphy in the house. Good morning, y'all. And it's gonna be alright. Y'all don't want to share this one today, man. We're getting busy, man. You guys know how I feel about getting your emotions. You gotta have some motion in there. You'll feel it right away. Everybody, let's go. Get that morning stretch. What's up, Sue? How you guys doing out there? And it's gonna be Good morning, my party people. How you guys doing out there? Pablo, what's up, my brother? Good morning, everybody, man. My name is Victor Guide Alicea. I just want to thank you guys for being here, man. We got some good stuff to talk about. What's up, Melissa? What's up, Christine? Today's a new day. Let's go get those hours, man. I want to share with you guys. You know, you got to put it out there. Put it out there. And I'm going to talk to you about what that is. You know, we talked about yesterday, me being your motivation and getting you going and, just telling you some things that can just jump you. But what is your motivation? Is just figuring out your why, right? We talked about that. And before we talked about just doing things, just getting in, just get out there and get it done. And one of the things that I told you to do was write down all the things you need to do in order to make your dreams come through, right? To make them come true. All your dreams, write them all down, Sometimes we're afraid to write everything down, right? Writing it all down can be very overwhelming. You might look at this piece of paper and be like, wow, that's a lot of stuff that I need to do. It's a long list. We're conditioned to look at things and see problems instead of seeing the work and the fun that will happen in all this long list and all the things that you need to do and moving them forward. What's up, Dan said? How you doing? So we get stuck by looking at it and getting overwhelmed. And let me tell you something. Here's a little secret. You ready for this? Overwhelmed is something that you do to yourself. What's up, Ali? How are you, my friend? All right? Overwhelmed is something that you do to yourself. People that are successful look at long lists and look at things and they prioritize and they focus and they, schedule each one and they, tell other people, they tell other people to do these certain things, and then they take on the big ones and they handle every situation. Overwhelm is something you do to yourself. So when you look at that list of the things that you need to do to get your next level, to become the new you, go for it. Look at it. You can look down and see like, wow, that's a lot of stuff. You can start, questioning yourself. And we do that a lot. Fear sets in. You might look at this big list and get scared. You might just start saying, I'm not capable. Maybe this is too big for me. Not me. Listen up. I've been there. Just like you, I've been there. I'm sure like a lot of people who have been successful have been there. They've been there. They look at these lists and they for a minute they'll go, wow, this is crazy. And then they go, I'm going to do this. I want to encourage you right now. I want to encourage you because I've been there. When you make a decision to change, when you decide that this is what I want, when you step into the new you, when you step into the greatness, when you have the courage to do the things that you've been wanting to do, I got to tell you, it's like everything. And I'm just going to say this again, everything, they start to come, they start to appear. It just appears out of nowhere, God, our God and Savior. It's not nowhere, but, things, new friends. All of a sudden you find these new friends because you're in the different places doing different things. You find new avenues of income. People that are willing, they see how motivated you are and inspired and they want to help somebody like you because you have a plan. You're ready. You're moving forward. And all of a sudden, your family who's been watching you, just give up all the time. It's like, okay, well, it's time now. He's ready. Your time frees up. That's a big one, right? Over here, let's talk about that. Your time, you find that you have the time to do the things that you need to do. When you make that decision, excuse me, all of a sudden, your time frees up. You see it. You start seeing it, right? All you need to do, let me tell you, when all these things start showing up, you need to be prepared. That's all you need to do is be prepared for that. You need to have it already. You have to put it out there. You have to start putting it out there. Step into it. Put it out there. Show up. Put it out there. Once you really make that decision, the people you need, the money, the support, everything comes out of nowhere. But it starts with a decision. When you speak life, when you speak it, and it's not just like, hey, I'm going to do this. It's not speaking life. Speaking life is, that's it. Enough is enough. I'm just going to do it. This is what I need to do. I'm doing this today. You start making those phone calls. You start being in it. You start showing up. You start reaching out to the people that you were afraid to talk to. You start writing it down. You start sharing it with your family. This is what we're going to do. I need your help and support. You start telling the world. You start talking to your friends. You speak life. Your words are powerful. Let me tell you, the words that you choose every day are very powerful. When you change the thoughts from, this is not me, I can't do it. Why, you stop asking questions that are putting you down and you start asking questions in your head that empower you. What do I need to do right now? How do I learn and get further? What steps do I need to take next? How do I do this? Who can I help? Who can I reach out to? When you change the way you feel, let me tell you, when you're walking around with your chest up and you're like excited and you're dancing, you can't be depressed when you're dancing. I can tell you when you can be depressed. When you're like this, head up, chest up, try to be depressed. Try it. Just try it right now. Just put your chest up, smile, and think depressing. It doesn't work, but I tell you what, you start walking around like this. You close your eyes, and you just put your head down, you slouch over, and think depressing. You fall right into it. So when you change the words, your thoughts, and the way you walk, the way you stand, the way you move, it changes everything for you. When you speak life, you start to live life, When you change the way you feel and the way you stand and the way you walk, you start to walk into greatness. You start to step into it. When you change the things that you start saying, the things that you are doing every day, the habits that you have, when you improve them, the things that you're thinking, the new you appears, guys. The new you is here. It's right there. It's right in front of you. All you have to do is put it out there. When your words are, I can't, I don't have the time, I don't have the experience, I don't have the money, I'm not connected. Do you feel already just me talking like this? How does it change what I've been doing? Do you feel like already you're going down? I am nobody. Nobody knows me. I don't have access. Not me. Guess what? You're right. When you start speaking like that, you're right. When you look and act hopeless, people ask you how you doing. Oh, I'm okay. You know, I'm going through my things. You keep bringing that alive. Every time you say, I'm going through my things, life is a struggle. It's like an anchor. You're like with a bat, just bashing yourself in your dreams every time. A bat, you know, or anchoring it in. You're just hammering that I am not capable. Every time you say it, you're hammering that in. You keep bringing that up. You keep making that part of your life. But when you start putting it out there, when you say I have potential, when you say it's my time, when you say I can, when you say I will, when you say I must, man, when you say I have access, when you talk like you have no boundaries, when you talk like you have no limits, when you speak life, when you put it out there, you are right. Speak it. There is power in the tongue. There is power in the tongue. What we say, how we act, what we think is what our life becomes. And you can change that. You have the power to change that. You got to put it out there. It belongs to you. It's your year when you speak it. Your reality shifts. Money comes from sources that you never even imagined. And I'm telling you, that's happened to me. I've thought about projects and, you know, get involved in them right away. And all of a sudden, some friend of mine is doing something they like. And he's like, oh, man, you know, we should collaborate and get involved because I'm moving. Not because I'm complaining. I don't call my friend and say I'm complaining and then he's going to help me. But I call my friends and they see that I'm like, wow, I want a piece of that. How do I get in there? You get support from people that you never imagined. You know, maybe you need a job somewhere and you're speaking life and you're walking around with a different attitude and you're working harder than you ever have. People start writing recommendations for letter. They make phone calls for you. People support you. All of a sudden, if you're studying something, you get book supplies out of nowhere. Oh, I got stuff because you're around people who study. People have stuff that they didn't use anymore that you can get. You get supplies. Here's a big one, man. You're learning something new, and all of a sudden somebody else calls you and say, "Hey, I see that you're a Tony Robbins follower. I have an extra ticket." They come out of nowhere. It happens. Stop worrying about, how am I going to do it? About why, why me, and all of these things. That's not your problem anymore. That's not your problem anymore, right? See, that's not my problem anymore. We get some thumbs up and some, that's not my problem anymore. I'm speaking life. I'm putting it out there. Today, I'm putting it out there. Step into the new year. Your greatness. You don't have to worry about what you haven't done. You don't have to worry about what you haven't done before. That's not your problem. Your past does not equal your future. Look forward. You can't stumble on things that are behind you. Look forward. You can't stumble on things behind you unless you keep walking backwards. Unless you keep thinking and focusing on your past. You can't stumble on things that are behind you. That's it right there. You can't stumble. They're behind you. You're walking, you're not going that way. You're going forward. And stop stumbling and making yourself stumble by repeating these things, these stories that keep you anchored into failure. Speak life. A new you. A new you. Let me tell you, when you start speaking life, watch what happens. When you put it out there, watch the support. Wait and see. I'm going to tell you, you're going to come back to me. You're going to come back to me in 3, 4, 5, 6 years, maybe a year from now, and say, how did you know? Well, because I did it. I did it. I spoke life. I spoke it. I spoke my brand before. I worked hard, even though I wasn't making the money that I felt I deserved. I was still in my lane, working, pushing forward. I did it. Watch the magic, man. Speak life into your, speak it. Put it out there today. Put it out there. Watch the magic that happens. We got some of us in my team right now, and we're ready, man. We're close to some greatness, man. So either you're gonna speak it and make it happen, or we're gonna make excuses. You can't have both. But let's speak life. When you make a decision, Watch the people show up for you. Watch the people show up. You know, make a decision and create to do it, to speak life and create your own luck. Create your own luck. E.T., and my man says, luck is for leprechauns and you're not green. You're not green. Speak your own life. Speak your future. Step into it. Create your own luck. All right? Have faith. And watch what happens, y'all. I love you guys. I hope this was beneficial to you. If you enjoyed what I shared today, share it with other people, man. Share it with other people. Get people out there on this morning motivation. Someday is not a day. Today, speak life. One more time, y'all. We're gonna get that motion in, man. You ready? Motion creates emotions. It's time to wake up, snap out of whatever you're feeling that come. Speak life. Put it out there. Take it out of your pocket and put it out there. There's no day like today, man. It's time. It's your turn. If not you, then who? You have greatness in you. Watch the magic happen in your life, y'all. I love you guys. Have a blessed Wednesday. Peace.